Hello everyone, welcome to another Just Ask Answered. The question this time, this is a really good question. They all are really good questions, but this one, I think we can all relate to this one at some point in our life. The question is, how can I let go of the feeling of rejection and abandonment? I think in order to do so, first we need to understand where the feeling of rejection and or abandonment comes from. And generally speaking, it's if we aren't fully happy within ourselves, then it means we're looking for someone outside of us to fulfill the happiness that we want to feel inside of us. So we become attached. You know, there's an attachment to the relationship, to the partnership. And when that happens, we create that bond that in our minds, this person makes me happy. So when we attach ourselves to that relationship, that situation, that person, and they leave our life, they break up with us, they move on in whatever way they move on, it can take us out at the knees because that was my happiness. And now it's gone. Now I've got nothing. My whole world revolved around that person. And now they're gone. And that's the problem. If you can develop a really strong sense of self-love, self-worth, find the happiness in your world within. Be able to make yourself happy. If you can be happy within without having something without, you know what I mean? Externally. You need to find that happiness internally. You need to be able to keep yourself happy. And if we can't do that and we count on someone or something outside of us and that disappears, we're attached to it. And so when it disappears, like I said earlier, it's about, it takes you out at the knees because now there's a piece of us missing, or we feel like there's a piece of us missing. And in actuality, if you can find that love and that happiness inside of you, and then that special person comes along, and by the way, if you can get yourself to that place where you've got an incredible amount of self-love and you are just happy with what is, looking forward to what's about to be, kind of content with where you're at the moment, and have that self-love, that is the same kind of love that'll come back to you from some other person or other people, period, in your life. And when that happens, you still don't have a need for that person to create happiness in your world because you're creating it. So when they disappear or when they aren't there when you want them to be there, it's not a big deal because I got myself, I got me, I can take care of this, right? I'm still going to get cards for you because I want to see what Spirit has to say here. But it generally comes down to being about self-love, self-worth, being able to take care of yourself in a way that satisfies you, keeps you happy. Then it's just gravy. Anybody that comes into our life at that point, it's gravy. And we're not attached. It's the attachment that messes with us because, like I said, once they're gone, we're on our knees. So let's see what Spirit says in answer to this question. Okay, thank you, angels, very much. Yeah, bottom of the deck. Sorry guys, I'm trying to figure this light out. 10 of Wands. Look at the artwork in this card. Look at what she's carrying. She's got an entire chunk of the planet on her back. She's got a whole town up there that she's carrying. Look at how small the people are in that town. That's how big this is. That's a burden and a half. Feeling rejected and feeling abandoned. That's a huge burden. You need to set that down. You already know that though, that's why you're asking. But in order to set that down, okay, because that's kind of what the question was about. This is the overall energy. Trying to or finding a way to set down that burden. So this is what came out. Oh, come on, there, 4 of Pentacles. It's all about letting go. Not holding on to that which doesn't serve us. Letting go of attachment. This card also very strongly represents holding back emotionally. Now, I don't do reversals, okay? So all of my cards in the deck are upright. So each card is dual purpose, so to speak. This can represent holding on too tight. It can represent holding back emotionally. And it can also represent the opposite of that, which is don't hold back emotionally and don't hold on, right? Don't attach. That'll free the emotion, the flow of emotion. Ooh, Queen of Swords. Now, if you notice in this deck, normally she's known as the Ice Queen, but in this deck, she does not look anywhere close to an Ice Queen. She's beautiful. She's gracious. She's graceful. She's got 2 swans down here. Swans mate for life. But again, she is still the Queen of Swords. She cuts things out of her life that no longer serve. So it relates to the first card. We can't hold on. We can't attach ourselves to anyone or anything. Because when we need to let go of them or when they let go of us, then we're going through that rejection and abandonment phase all over again. There is a reason that we go through that too. There's an underlying reason that you do or we attach to situations and people. There is a lack somewhere within you, and it's going to be different for all of you. It could just be that you lack self-love, self-worth, right? You likely lack the ability to keep yourself happy and satisfied with life. 7 of Pentacles. For me, this card is all about divine timing. It's about putting in the work, putting in the effort, planting the seed, watering the plants or the seeds, weeding the garden, fertilizing the garden. This is very much a card of stepping back, allowing what is necessary in your life, allowing, again, when we're not attached to something, we can surrender to the process. We can allow things to move the way they need to move without too much difficulty. But the minute we attach, we take it personally. When that person or that situation ends, we take it personally, and that is what hurts. That's what takes us out. Yeah, the Tower. Absolutely. This reminds me of the 10 of Wands, just simply because of, if you look down here, this castle down here that's built around the base of this huge tree trunk that the tower is sitting on, or that the castle is sitting on. If you look at the card from this place, there is nothing going on. There's nothing to worry about. There's no issues. It's just moving forward from day to day, just trusting, believing, surrendering. But as you go up, this is divine taking care of those things that are no longer necessary in our world. Look at what's happening up here. This is falling apart. Literally, there is something in your world falling apart, but if you're down here, you can't see that. You're not dealing with it. So when you've got a lot of intervention, so to speak, here. So the problem also stems from when we attach ourselves the way we do. We've all been there. I've been there. We attach ourselves to a relationship, a person, a situation, and we hang on too tightly. We hang on for dear life because we don't want to lose that person. We're happy. We're in love. This is moving perfectly. But when it stops and we still hang on because we don't want to be alone, or because we don't want to feel abandoned or vulnerable, right? We hang on when we need to cut things free. Make room for what it is you really want. Understand that when divine steps in and rips these things from your life, if you don't, that's what happens. But when that happens, it's just so we can move forward. It's clearing out and making space for that which you want more than what you've currently got. You just don't know that yet. But the same answer I've already given you. It's because of the attachment. When we attach ourselves to a situation or a person, it can't go well if it ends. It can't. Because our belief is that that person, that situation is going to be there forever. As long as we want it to be. But it's not just up to us. But if you were happy, if all of us are happy within before we connect in a relationship or a partnership, we don't have abandonment and rejection issues when it ends because we go within. We know how to soothe ourselves. We're happy without it. So how can having it and then losing it take us to our knees? It can't. I want to get another card for you from the Synchronicity Oracle deck and the Motivation Manifesto. Oh, thank you, angels. Okay, Motivation Manifesto. And there we go. Thank you, angels. Okay. When I created this deck, I had a lot of numbers that I was seeing frequently, and I wanted to know what they meant. So I asked my guides. I was seeing 999 quite a lot, and the answer I got back with that is moving toward freedom. And that is what we're talking about here. When we allow ourselves to grow and expand as individuals and have that self-love, that self-worth, self-respect, all those things that go with it, self-esteem, self-confidence, and we don't need anyone or anything to come into our world to make us happy or keep us happy. That is true freedom. True freedom. And that is when our wishes are granted. That's when your twin will come in. That's when that special soulmate will enter your life when you don't need them to. Because you're not supposed to, or we, I keep saying you, I don't mean you who asked the question, I mean as the collective. We are not to attach ourselves to others. Now, the Motivation Manifesto card. We must reclaim our agenda with a forceful grip. We need to be in a place of, what this says to me is we need to be in a place of, I don't want to use the word control, because we aren't to control our path or our journey. It's about surrendering to the process and allowing ourselves to go through the guidance system and move in the directions that are paths of least resistance, right? But in a way, it is about gaining control of our ways of thinking and being and feeling. And when we're trying to raise our vibration or our consciousness to a higher level, a higher state, it is about controlling. It's about allowing ourselves to think only certain thoughts, a new way of thinking and being, a more positive way of thinking and being, not a feeling of lack, you know? Take control. Grab that ring, that brass ring, and control your thoughts, control your emotions, and know what you want, and know that you deserve it, and know that you are worth all the greatness that's coming into your life. And don't take anything less than that. We don't need to be in relationships that cause us pain. That is just not necessary. But when we get ourselves to the place where we have more love, love yourself more than the need to keep someone or something in your life. That's when your wishes will start to come true. That's when your twin can enter your life. That's when that special soulmate can come in, right? Rather than having people ripped out of your life, know when they're no longer serving a purpose. When you have self-love, self-worth, self-esteem, all of those things, you're going to know when you get into a relationship with somebody, you're going to know right away, this person is not for me. Or, this person's pretty awesome. And just keep moving forward. It's about being happy. That's it. It's not about controlling the direction of the relationship. It's not about controlling how long it lasts. It's just about being happy. If you're happy and it seems to be working and you've got that unconditional love going on, which is what it takes, unconditional love for yourself, then you will receive that from someone else and others, and you can give it to them. Because that's what it comes down to, unconditional love. Loving someone without needing the conditions to change in order to love them. Loving them for who they are, how they are. Not if they're abusive, though. That is different. I think that's everything. I hope this helped. I hope it answered your question. And all of you that have this same question, I hope it helped. Leave comments. It's nice to know if it does help you out any. I guess that's it. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.